What's up, YouTube? I'm going to share with you my opinion as to why the Benchmade Bugout is not a good bug-out knife. There's three main reasons: the blade length, the blade shape, okay, and the access lock. So the Benchmade Bugout, popular knife. It's very light, nice, good steel, a hard steel. On the blade, it's CPM S30V. No complaints with the steel here. Here's my three primary complaints about this knife. And this doesn't make it a bad knife. This just makes it, in my view, a bad knife for bugging out. Okay, the first thing is the shape of the blade. The second thing is the length of the blade. And the third thing is this access lock here with this little bar that goes back and forth. So let's just go through those three things, and I'll explain to you why those three things make the Benchmade Bugout not a good bug-out knife. And I want to use as a comparison here this much cheaper Ontario Rat #1 model knife. Now, if you're doing as you might do if you're bugging out, food prep or some fire making tasks, this length of blade and this shape of blade is going to be much better. This nice belly here makes this a good food prep knife. There's this nice gap here between the blade and the internals so that your food, if you're using the full blade, your food is not going to start gumming up the inside of the knife. Okay, and the length of the knife just makes it much easier to be cutting tomatoes and such without running out of space here. The Bugout, in my view, for food prep is simply too small and doesn't have that nice belly there on the bottom and the front of the knife to make it easy to kind of slide into your tomato or potato or whatever it is that you're cutting up. So you need a bigger knife, in my view, with a nice belly to do food prep well, and the Benchmade Bugout is not that knife. Now, and this may be more controversial, the access lock here, in my view, is not a good sound locking mechanism. After my camping trip, recent camping trip, I came back and I rinsed this knife out. And when I picked it up a few hours later to dry it off, this locking mechanism had seized entirely, and I was having great difficulty pulling it back like that. And what I found with this knife is that if you open it, nice and smooth, like so, it'll close nice and smooth. But if you flick it open, which a lot of people, like to do, and some people will just sit and, flick their knife back and forth like that. If you flick it open nice and hard, this locking mechanism tends to kind of seize up. Now, this may be with just this particular knife, I don't know, but you can see I'm pulling back, there we go. You have to give pressure, and then all of a sudden it will give. If I open it up like that, there's no pressure, it just will come back nice and easy. But if I flick it open like so, you can see I'm putting pressure right there and it's not moving. There we go. So I just don't have confidence in the access lock. It's seized up. There's nothing in there. I've looked at it closely. There's no sand or anything in there. But that's another reason why I'm not so sure about this access lock. I feel like if sand or dirt got in there, it would really interfere with the ability of this little lever that goes back and forth like so. Whoops. You can kind of see it there, going back and forth. If there was sand or dirt or something that got in there, then I think it would gum up. I've also heard, and I haven't had this experience, but I've certainly heard that because there's little springs in there that keep this bar under tension. There's two springs on either side, and they can break. And I don't know how common that is, but in a knife like this, there's no sort of fragile little springs. Okay, the locking mechanism is a liner lock. You can see right there's a solid metal bar. It's not going to break or snap under normal use. There's bronze washers that if dirt or grime or something gets into this knife, I just feel that it's not going to fail in the same way as with the Benchmade Bugout. So Benchmade Bugout, great little knife for taking to the beach or going to the mall, or where weight is going to be the primary concern. If you really want a very lightweight knife, the Bugout is very nice for that purpose. Small little package, but honestly, if you want a knife that's going to be extremely durable and is actually going to be decent as a Bugout knife, where you can do all the different tasks that you may be required to do in some kind of emergency scenario, which of course is going to include food prep, which may include fire making, processing wood. This knife is simply too small, and in my view, too fragile or prone to failure. So that is why in my view, in my humble opinion, the Benchmade Bugout is not a good Bugout knife. Okay, so that's my first knife review. Thanks for sticking it out till the end, and we'll see you in the next one.